All right, hello, greetings and welcome. So this next video is on the methodology of your path. How do you train? How do you break down what you're doing? How do you apply your intellect towards your process? Then how do you apply your intuition towards that process? And how do you find a balance between your intuition and your intellect in your spiritual journey? This is super important because you don't want to waste time. You want to get results as quickly as possible. You want to have spiritual experiences, a continuous stream of epiphanies, and you want to metabolize those epiphanies, those spiritual insights, to make them functional tools for more epiphanies, for more spiritual insights. So the Hermetic model is to train the body, train the astral body, and train the mental body. And put 1/3 of your time into each of these areas. If you're a Qigong practitioner, there'll be a natural tendency, all right, I'll relax, hang the muscles, suspend from above, pluck the fascia, and get the muscle and the fascia to separate slightly, and then gravity will fuel life force, and I'll sit in the bliss of this life force, slow it down into an astral type of Qi, and then I'll do stuff with it like pour breathe into the bone marrow, extend energy out into the distance, circulate with trees, have lots of fun, and indulge in this spiritual journey. All these things were the vital and astral. It's the bottom end of the spectrum. And all those things will die with your body. What we ultimately want is to train the top end of the spectrum that goes with you when you die. So your mental body has a center of gravity. And that center of gravity of your mental body, when you separate, goes to a like field of consciousness. And if it's a low field, it goes low. If it's a high field, it goes high. So the effort that happens in your mental body is your treasure. It goes with you. The effort that happens in your astral physical body, it passes away and dies, and is subject to a much higher degree of change than the diamond of your spirit. So putting 1/3 of your training into each one of these areas allows you to refine, transform your mental body faster than if you just did mental body training only. And this is very evident in people who practice Vipassana. But Vipassana practitioners are fundamentally training their mental body through the vehicle of the physical, because they have to sit, but it's all mental work. And they don't develop psychic abilities. Very, very small percentage of Vipassana practitioners are highly intuitive. And it's your intuition which allows you to refine your method, to refine your spirit, to refine the mental body. So we want to train all three equally so that the energy can raise into the mental body and the mental body can move faster. So how do we do that? Well, we started with, okay, Qigong, vital breathing, willpower into the breath, breath into the stretch, suspend the stretch, pluck the fascia up, suspend from above, hang the muscles down. There's a natural form of tensile tension in your fascia. There's a gap that forms between muscle tension and fascia tension, and gravity will fuel that to generate radiant energy when you're in that state. Now as you radiate that energy, you slow it down into the astral and you train the astral elements. You release space, you absorb the mind substance of that gravitational life force being alchemically converted into Jin, which is released into astral Qi, which you take the mind substance and convert it into Yi, into mind, and then you take the intention and non-intention, you separate those in the Yi, and you absorb it into your spirit. So your Shen, your spirit, becomes more powerful. So this process of alchemy, of taking vital energy and raising it up to the spirit, and then from the spirit, your mind becomes concentrated, you're able to take that concentration, accumulate akasha, and interact with akasha, and then breathe vital energy from akasha into your physical body and make a loop. So now you draw vital from the emptiness up through the astral mental, your mind becomes stronger, interacts with akasha, interacts with light on a higher level, and generates an alchemical loop. So we're basically using creation to reverse engineer creation to escape creation. It's pretty ironic. So this loop generates very deep forms of equanimity and insight into your practice, so you can define your spiritual process further. Now, as you go through each exercise in Franz Barden's book, you'll find that there's the treasure of every exercise is the accompanying equanimity of the exercise. So let me say that again. Every exercise has accompanying equanimity, a stillness. That's the treasure. You're accumulating all these forms of stillness to get deeper access to Akasha. So when you're accumulating these different types of stillness from every exercise, no matter which exercise you're doing, there'll be a stillness underlying the experience of doing the exercise. That's the treasure. That's what you accumulate. That equanimity accumulates into a form of magical equilibrium of the three bodies, what gives you access to your own divinity. Be still and know that you are God. Now, the way all these exercises are arranged so that your intuition is being amplified through the combinations of these exercises. And as your intuition amplifies, it's a self-guiding process and insight into how you practice to generate more equanimity, what to release, what to let go of, what to harmonize. And it's an intuitive path which you design and develop for yourself. Franz Barden's book, it's only a general guide as to how to approach it, a basic psychological profile of your mental, astral and physical body. And if you're a musician and you're tuning into art of music, you'll go into trance and you'll express astral rhythms out of the astral worlds and heaven realms that help humanity. And you use initiation as a overlay to be able to do that. You put that blueprint on top of your musical path, on your top of your artistic path, and you express your magic in that particular way. So the Hermetic framework is something you overlay on your path, on your life, to help you understand your spiritual journey. And each time you overlay this on a different person, it becomes a very unique thing, unique to you, unique to what you're doing and how you're doing it. So the initiation text is a wonderful tool to help you develop yourself. The key to success is always accumulate stillness. Accumulate stillness underlying every exercise. That is your vehicle to ascension. Everything in Buddhism, for instance, is a product of equanimity. All the high frequencies, you get insight in them through equanimity. You understand the path through equanimity. Same applies to Hermetics equally. It's all about magical equilibrium and how you organize your training program so that the causation chain of that equilibrium produces your outcomes for the skills that you want to develop. After you've mind mapped the initiation text and looked at the equanimity that arises under every exercise, it'll become very obvious. That's the essence of the spiritual journey. Your mind touching object, interacting with equanimity, equalizing your attachment, aversion, delusion in regards to that object, and your mind ascending up to higher frequencies of being. Thank you for your time. See you in the next video.